Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Fluence Energy. It is time for another update, and it seems we have extended in a more direct fashion to lower prices within our smaller time frame structure, and this has some new implications we need to consider, especially since we didn't quite reach our area of resistance for a potential wave B. Now, for context, on this chart we are still tracking the idea of an initial 5-wave move to the upside within a leading diagonal, and we are still looking for this to be a wave 2 correction, and we have the area of support between $14.1 down to $5.6 that is suggesting a high probability reversal to higher prices from this region. Now the question is, how can we expect this wave 2 to unfold? And it is becoming rather more tricky. I would still consider it possible for this to have been the wave A down. We have even reacted very nicely to the 38.2% retracement, the first level of support, but we have only generated a 3-wave move to the upside. This wouldn't have been a suggestion of a bottom really being in place, and now that we got the extension to lower prices, we actually need to have an even more open mind, because I have several options for this structure overall. Initially, we have the idea that this could still work out as a wave A to the downside. This could have still been the wave B, and a wave C could generate a bottom within this structure, but at the same time, I cannot rule out the possibility of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 within this structure, where even an impulse is a valid interpretation. And once again, if we get the initial 5-wave move to the downside, we need to be prepared for a 3-wave correction into the area of resistance, and then continuation within at least another 5-wave move to the downside. Given that there is no clear indication of how this pattern would require to be tracked, we need to be prepared, we need to have a strategy that allows us to be comfortable given any of these outcomes. Yeah, the pattern has many options that are fairly close in probabilities, but the positive aspect is that we do not need to trust any single one of them. We can prepare for all outcomes with a strategy that makes us feel comfortable. Because if we have this as an initial 5-wave move to the downside, we would expect, once again, a correction and continuation. If I continue to track this as an A, B, C pattern, we could have a bottom within this as a wave 2. So maybe for some people looking for some early positions, some core positions, even as we complete a wave 2 that could potentially be just the wave A in this area, might be something to consider. In the end, it is always a possibility to look for extensions, but that is where sizing becomes that much more important, because that is what will allow us to sleep at night, given that any single structure could fail, and ultimately any single pattern could see an extension, even if this were to be a perfectly clear 3-wave correction. It could still form a larger A, B, C structure and take us to lower prices. That is no guarantee that it will see a successful reversal. It is only a higher degree confirmation after the initial 5-wave move to the upside, because that is what we need to have to even consider a bottom to have a likely degree of being in place. So, regardless of what is the outcome, so firstly, I will be prepared with the same levels of resistance, where this could have actually bottomed within a wave A. Yeah, we do not need to extend necessarily even further. We'll still be watching for resistance within wave B, and we will be watching the levels between $17.9 up to $26.9, where in the case of this being a wave 4, it kind of checks out with it adding structural resistance at the first level of resistance, the 38.2% retracement. Then, I could be looking even for an additional signal that this structure isn't going to extend directly lower, possibly within the wave A, possibly within the wave 2 in a direct fashion. So I would have here a potential ending diagonal in this 5-wave pattern, and I would be looking for the resistance levels up to the 61.8% retracement internally, since I would like to see a wave 4 and a wave 5 before assuming a bottom is in place within this in the idea of a 5-wave pattern. In such a scenario, we pushed into the 61.8% retracement, and if we get a sustained break above this level, we would have an indication that this has a bottom in place already. Of course, it's not a guarantee, but it is a strong indication that pushes me to favor the idea of a wave B being in formation, and I actually would like probably to track this idea of an extension within a different color, as within yellow, I would like to explore the possibility of a reversal in a more direct fashion. And yeah, basically these are the options. We would have either a larger A, B, C pattern that could be forming, or we would have the wave 2 that could bottom at any point within this structure. Then the white scenario is just the idea of an extension within either the yellow wave 2 or the orange wave A. So for a recap, this structure is suggesting the possibility of a bottom forming at any point, right? This wave 2 doesn't need to extend even further. It can be tracked as a complete pattern, and it would look better with one additional low, but I'm not ruling out the possibility of a direct reversal. Even if we can consider this wave 2 to have a bottom, we must still watch the larger resistance levels in the orange scenario that would still put pressure on continuation within one more low. Then in the white interpretation, we would like to see a break for the signal that this structure itself is not going to extend even further. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoy our content and want to support us directly, check out our channel membership, and as a thank you for any of these actions, I would like to invite you to sign up to our channel newsletter, where you get access to our monthly top picks where we identify for you high quality structures. Other than that, let me know what else you'd like me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead, and until then, I wish you a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.